outrage of for what's going on in Nigeria. We saw 4 million people marching in the streets of Paris. We saw world leaders gathering there to sort of stand in solidarity with Paris. Where are those calls for the same kind of justice for the people of Nigeria? Help us understand the difference here and maybe why we're not hearing the same level of outrage. Or is there a reason?
Yeah, good morning, Michaela. Yeah, the issue is, you know, the stark difference, isn't it? World leaders, very prominent, linking arms, walking the Champs-Elysees, complete solidarity against this and outrage against what happened in Paris, vis-a-vis what we see in Nigeria, which is truly not, it should not be surprising. Look, what's happening in Nigeria is barbarous. It's horrible. I mean, it's complete madness, yet it's not a priority. The United States unilaterally could do almost anything it needs to do. It would be a long-term effort, but it could be done. And the United States has the capability. All the elements of power, we have those.
So why not?
Complete. It's not a priority. That's the problem. We are committed elsewhere in the world. Black West Africa is not a priority. Very stark, very hard to say, but that's the case right now.
The world is slow in understanding.
Very, very slow indeed. In fact, I was so surprised that the world could be so slow in thinking. I never knew that man could be like this. I had always thought that man is a reasonable, understanding creature that feels the woes, the troubles of others. But I didn't know that man, especially those who are in power, those who rule, that they could be so wicked and so hardened that they cannot just feel the trouble, the woes of others, and that they could just determine to starve a whole people and to kill a whole people. Well, the world is so slow in understanding.
Biafra is at the moment experiencing jungle justice, which is the justice of might is right, because we're under an economic blockade, we're under a propaganda blockade, we're under a diplomatic blockade. Nobody sees what we are suffering, nobody hears what we are suffering, and as a result of that, the wrong story is presented to the world. We are not heard, and therefore we cannot be judged except on the basis of the lies being told about us. When we have been able to overcome this jungle justice and we are heard, then we will then get the civilized justice, because our case will be brought into the open. And once the case is in the open, you cannot play tricks. We are now victims of blackmail because we are being suppressed, we are being muzzled.
But you still fight on.
We fight on, oh yes, Biafra fights on.
How long have you been in Africa, sister?
11 years in all.
What do you think of this whole situation?
I think this is terrible, terrible now. There's so many innocent people, so many civilians being killed. It is tragic, really.
Hello, Biafra. Welcome to this live broadcast. Today is Thursday, the 6th of October 2022. I welcome you specially to this live broadcast. Today is very, very special because we have a guest in the house, and of course we're expecting others, a very formidable force in this cause of liberation and doing mighty things abroad. And of course, most of you have been reading his write-ups. He's been doing lots of great things. I want to welcome you. My name is Kelechi Ambrose, and I'm going to be introducing our guest. I'm going to be bringing him up live here, and you'll be knowing who the person is as soon as he comes up. We're going to be discussing very critical things that pertain to the fundamental themes and actions going on in Biafra land. Today, my guest is Prince Ezem, Iheanacho, a great Biafran, a great writer, a great thinker, and a great man in the cause of fighting for our freedom. Please, Prince, talk to Biafrans, please, briefly, and greet Biafrans.
Hello, Biafrans. I greet you all. I speak about Biafra with a lot of emotion. That emotion stems from the fact that Biafrans have suffered more than enough. And you wouldn't be human if you don't know or even realize that. You wouldn't be human until you are a father and you lose your children before you, lose your wife before you, lose all that God had given you, lose even your gifts, your eternal gift from God, until you're a mother and you witness your children die before you, until you say you are a human being, you will never realize when we say Biafrans have suffered enough. In a world none of us created, no human being created. In a world, all of us came as strangers, as visitors, and we are living as tenants that must vacate. In a world we brought nothing into, and in a world we will never be able to take anything from, until you capture that fact, especially the fact that we are all gifted individually with limitations, so that we can collaborate, cooperate, and complement one another. That we are not here to talk about hegemony. We're not here to talk about dominance. Rather, we are here to talk about complement, collaboration in a world that we must all depart. Until you come to these realizations, I can assure you, you are not human enough to understand the sufferings of Biafrans. So Biafrans, I welcome you all and welcome myself, and I thank Kelechi for this privilege to speak to you Biafrans and speak to humanity at the same time, because I can only advocate for humanity. And when you advocate for humanity, you've got to realize what Biafrans have been through. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Prince. Some of you may not have heard of him or hear him speak, but you're going to hear him. Some of you have been reading only his write-ups. And of course, some of you have been watching him on Facebook. But today, you're going to hear him explain some very vital things on this platform. You just heard just a bit. You're going to be hearing more after this, by the time we get into the broadcast proper. Also, of course, on stage, in the studio, we have Mazi Gadaffi. He doesn't need so much introduction, because he has been on the media very well with us, and doing great things. And we want him also, he's also a pillar and a root, a man who is bulldozing and can bulldoze and keep bulldozing. Mazi Gadaffi, please say hi to Biafrans.
Yeah, fellow Biafrans, I thank you for being with us as usual. We can't thank you enough. You've been so wonderful to us. You've been there, standing shoulder to shoulder with us. And above all, I salute all our foot soldiers that have been carrying this message to the grassroots. I salute you all. And we are here to do the needful, the things we know how to do. Bring you the information, the privileged information which you don't know. We are also here to let you know the blueprint that we have, and the assurance as well that we have that Biafra is real and the Biafra is sure. Like I always say, I'm sure of it, I'm double sure of it, that one day you're going to sleep in Nigeria, you'll wake up in Biafra. Thank you all as we proceed.
Now, you have not heard yet the things that you're about to hear. The things that you're going to be hearing here today are going to really motivate most of you and going to, influence most of you. Mr. Prince is already, he has, this passion that when I read this write-up, I feel the passion about Biafra and the pain. We are looking at the this massacre of the Asaba and of what happened in Asaba. We're going to be looking at that deeply. We're going to relate it to the Aba women riot of 1929. We're going to relate it to the things that are happening to our people and the pain that they have cost us in the contraption called Nigeria. These are the things we'll be looking at. So please, it's going to be a lot of emotional time, because so many things have gone wrong that we need to correct as a people, and that is why we have come here. But before we go on again, I'm going to play this video again. I want to play video, so some of you who have not listened to it, you will listen to it right now. You can listen to this analyst, this American analyst, who says that we are not a priority. When people say you are not a priority, then it means that you have to do something about your situation. I'll play it one more time, then we from there. Please listen.
Gotten a lot of attention on Twitter. A lot of people are saying, wait, where's the outrage of for what's going on in Nigeria? We saw 4 million people marching in the streets of Paris. We saw world leaders gathering there to sort of stand in solidarity with Paris. Where are those calls for the same kind of justice for the people of Nigeria? Help us understand the difference here, and maybe why we're not hearing the same level of outrage. Or is there a reason?
Yeah, good morning, Michaela. Yeah, the issue is, the stark difference, isn't it? World leaders, very prominent, linking arms, walking the Champs-Elysees, complete solidarity against this and outrage against what happened in Paris, vis-a-vis what we see in Nigeria, which is truly not, it should not be surprising. Look, what's happening in Nigeria is barbarous. It's horrible. I mean, it's complete madness. Yet it's not a priority. The United States unilaterally could do almost anything it needs to do. It would be a long-term effort, but it could be done. And the United States has the capability. All the elements of power, we have those.
So why not?
Complete. It's not a priority. That's the problem. We are committed elsewhere in the world. Black West Africa is not a priority. Very stark, very hard to say, but that's the case right now.
Please, I want us to start on this note, please. Now, you heard that video clearly. What is happening in Nigeria is barbarous. It's terrible. But yet, it is not a priority. The United States it has the capability to stop this, but it's not a priority. It's heart-wrenching that we hear such kind of statements coming from the media, a very popular media from the United States. That means they are speaking the mind of the Americans. Prince Ezem, please say something about that.
Your average man and woman on the street would not understand what that gentleman said. And I can assure you, if we had 8 billion people in this world, 7.5 billion wouldn't even understand, or even more, wouldn't understand what that man had just said. I advocate for humanity, and understand what you were saying. I understand every bit of what he himself thinks, and what an average human being on this earth thinks. Now, let me tell the world this, and let me remind Biafrans of something. What that man has just said is to tell you that there are categories of human beings in this world. Because everything somebody utters, everything somebody says, comes from their thought process, the way they have been conditioned to think. So, because I like to go to the roots of things, because if you don't go to the roots of things, you will never understand it. In fact, in engineering, it's called first principle. If you really want to change anything, you got to go down to where it began and work yourself from there. The problem we have in this world is rooted in the fact that mortal beings, because people need to understand that what we have in this world are mortal beings. Not everybody is a human being. People use these words very loosely. They don't know what being human means. And I want to have time now to explain these things so people can begin to understand what is at play. Because if you don't understand what is at play, you will have no solution to it. So, mortal beings in this world, mortal beings are made up of two components, the being and the human. We come in as beings, and we can live through this life as beings and become professors and do whatever else, and we still remain beings, because that is our basic standard physical nature. The human side is linked to our spirituality. If that human side is not activated and properly nurtured, you can't call yourself a human being. And if you are a being, you will become more dangerous than all wild animals put together. You will be confused about what human beings actually means. You would lose, you wouldn't know the identity, you wouldn't know the meaning, you wouldn't know the origin, and you wouldn't know the purpose of mortal beings on this earth. So that gentleman has just spoken as a being, and that is how most Europeans, especially those who find themselves in government, that is how they think. So they don't necessarily see anybody wearing a brown skin, because nobody is black and nobody is white. I can assure you that. They don't see those wearing brown skin as actually human beings. I can assure you, when you are a being, you are going to think, you're going to reason, and you're going to act worse than animals. Never say a mortal being is behaving like an animal, because that is not true. Animals, for example, can never make, they can never deploy, and they can never use weapons. But beings feed on weapons, and they destroy themselves by destroying others, because they don't actually know who you are. Now, I want people to know that at the root of that gentleman's statement is simply that those he classified as blacks are not a priority, because they don't actually matter. He may not have been saying this from his own point of view, but that is his own understanding of the American policy, that as far as, but you know what is funny actually is that in the end, they are, even as busy as they say they are interested in natural resources that they did not create. They are interested in human resources that they never created. They never designed. That is not theirs. That we are here and will remain here when we depart from this earth. That is what I fail to comprehend. So the truth is, people need to understand that why this is not a priority for America, and I need to make it clear that what is not a priority for them is the lives of people. Not that your resources is not a priority for them. So people need to understand these statements very, very well in order to know how to go about it. If you fail to understand anything, you can never proffer solution to that thing. I call on humanity to develop discerning spirit. So when somebody speaks, you can not just analyze, but critically analyze it, so you can understand all the various components of what they are saying. Because without doing so, you will just go with the flow and not know what to do. So in a nutshell, I just want Biafrans, and I want humanity, I want people of good conscience to appreciate where that man, I don't know his name, I just spoke about how Nigeria and black Africans are not a priority. I wanted to make sure people capture where he was coming from. And he's not saying something that is just specific to him. This is the way they view mortal beings. Because they remain beings, they're still not, their human side is dead. It's not activated yet. So they can't see the uniqueness in themselves and the uniqueness in you that requires collaboration, cooperation, and complement. I thank you.
Thank you so much for that analysis. Mazi Gadaffi, these people, this message have been on air, been in the media for a long time, and yet our people have not really looked at it very critically. We just watch it, we just ignore it. Please give us your perspective to this fundamental video that is important to every life of a brown-colored person.
Thank you. My understanding that Black Africa are not their priority now or later. I could say our well-being as a people, our safety as a people doesn't matter for them. For us to survive as a people, as a race, their priority is as long as the oil from Biafra land keeps flowing. That's what matters to them. They don't care whether you live or whether you die. Look at Ogun, for instance. The world has been talking about Ogun cleanup. You think about Ogun cleanup, you see, the government has come and gone with a lot of promises, cleaning up Ogun, making sure that the people of Ogun have a good life. Because it doesn't matter to them. It's not their priority as long as the oil keeps flowing. So if you want to die, you can die. If your fish want to die, they can die. If you don't want to survive, that is up to you. As long as the oil keeps flowing. Your survival as a race is not their business. I can say, when they say it's not their priority, it's the same word to say your survival, your well-being as a people is not a business. Not just West Africa, but all Black race. You understand? You can see they will be fighting a war in other continents. The world will put the attention over there. But when the same killing is going on in African soil, you see, they don't care. If it was in America that they were killing Christians, remove name of the people from the list of a Christian persecuting country. But as it doesn't matter to them, it's not their business, it's not their priority. If you want to die, you could die. If you want to survive, it's up to you. They look at Africa as a land of the survivor of the fittest. When you think about when they were planning the vaccine, there was a video I watched that said they want to kill about 3 million from Africa. You understand? That's to if you join it to what this guy is saying, that our well-being, our survival is not a priority. That's why you see, maybe I would have sent you the video, maybe want to kill 3 million Africa. Somebody sit on a roundtable discussion, plan how to execute the African race. You understand? So as long as we are very stupid and foolish to make sure that the resources keep flowing from here to their side, keep flowing from the African soil to their side, Africa becomes like a place where the palm wine tap his wine and take it to the market and develop his family. Where you tap your palm wine, you don't care. It could be bush, it could be anything, it could be anywhere, it could be even forest.
Okay, I think it's hanging there. Now I'm going to play a video that will say, because I want to take us from this point of, saying that we are not a priority to the next point of the activities that have happened in the past history that confirms what this man has said, that we're not a priority. I want to play a particular video. It's just a 3-minute video that is going to narrate the issue of the about women riots, because I want us to bring it from that point of that colonial, beginning, where we had a 1940 colonial beginning, and then they moved it to the point of now bringing indirect rule through the chiefs, the warrant chiefs. They now introduced that concept and began to extort the people, which created which caused the Aba women riot. Because these things are fundamental to the fact that we are not a priority because we are not the center of focus. Our resources is the center of focus. Let me play this video so that Prince Ezem, you'll be able to look at it and then you'll be able to say something about it. Please, Biafrans, listen to this video very well. Listen to it attentively and get the details, every information. The voiceover is very simple and very slow so that you can understand everything. I want you to listen to this, then we'll now go into the next segment of this aspect of this video, so we understand what these people see us and how they see us, and then we begin to prefer solution, because the solution will come from us. It will never come from them. That is why we're doing this thing. So listen to this, please, Biafrans, listen to it.
Igbo Area TV, on the Igbo. The incident that led to the Aba women riots. The Aba women riot was a period of unrest in eastern Nigeria during the colonial era between November and December 1929. The agitation started brewing between 1914 and 1919 when Frederick Lugard introduced a system of indirect rule in which the British administrators governed through male warrant chiefs. The system of indirect rule replaced the traditional Igbo political system. Within a few years, the warrant chiefs became oppressive and imprisoned anyone who openly criticized them. By 1928, direct taxation on men was introduced by the British government. A protest was triggered by a fight between a woman named Wanyerowa Oleka Okbo and Mark Emerowa, who was carrying out the census of the people in Oloko town, Bende district, Owerri province. The warrant chief in Oloko had started to assess the taxable wealth of the inhabitants of the town, including women. It is believed that the enumeration of women was proof of looming taxation on them as well. Wanyerowa reported the incident to her fellow women who were already deliberating on the issue of taxation. The Oloko women called for a protest by sending palm fronds to women in the neighboring towns and villages. They demanded an end to the warrant chief system and were against the taxation of women. The protest spread across the provinces of Owerri and Calabar. Native courts as well as British establishments were destroyed. Following an incident in which 2 protesters were knocked down and killed by a British doctor, the women became enraged. Government forces were deployed to counter the protests, which led to the death of over 50 unarmed women. Many others were wounded. The uprising prompted the colonial authorities to drop their plans to impose more taxes and to abolish the warrant chief system. The Aba women riot is regarded as the first major challenge to the British authority in Nigeria during the colonial era. What do you think about the story? Add your comment on the comment section of this video. Thanks for watching Igbo Area TV. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also click the bell icon. Like our Facebook page. Join our Facebook group. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Bye for now.
Yeah, that video has shown us, given us a brief of what happened to our mothers who were killed. Over 50 of them. Of course, officially they stated 50, but we know it's more than. Whenever you hear such kind of official statement, you know that something is more, because they will never want to give you the real, which means it was huge. It was a massive killing. Now, obviously here we see a system that was trying to bring about, to destroy the culture of the people. Remember, the video said that from the basis, we never had warrant chiefs. They introduced this system to corrupt the culture. That means the first target was our culture. Please, Mr. Prince, say something about this.
I just want to first of all give all glory to God Almighty, the creator, the maker of everything before any mortal being arrived into this world. To behold a world full of limitless resources. Now, that video, I hate to get emotional, but sometimes I can't help it. And I can't help it because of the pain I feel when I see such madness. But this is the byproduct of mortal beings who are only beings who got fixated by what their eyes could see. They got fixated by the gifts of God to humanity. They literally became criminals because all they were doing was to formulate ways to steal what never belonged to them. In their quest to do this, they began to destroy the unique gifts, the unique attributes of fellow human beings. Remember, I've already told you that the uniqueness in each of us is meant for the purposes of complement, collaboration, and cooperation, so that we can all work in partnership to beautify the world. Because everything you see in this world is meant for temporary sharing. It's just temporarily, because we are all exiting whether we like it or not. But in order to impose stealing, in order to deprive others, people had to devise all these animal-infested modules, animal narratives, animal concepts, believing that their survival depended on destruction of others. So what you saw there is a typical example of beings operating without human components. And what such beings do is to find a way to destroy anything that is unique in you. And in order to do that, they have to create the divide and rule mechanisms whereby, you see, but the thing is, don't forget that when I talk about beings, they include those who agreed to be warrant chiefs. Because without those people, they wouldn't be able to achieve this level of madness. Because you see, all beings are attracted to is what their limited eyesight can see. That is their only attraction. They have not developed enough in themselves to actually evaluate and understand that, look, you can't kill mortal beings for the things God has placed beneath mortal beings, for things that are meant for sharing, for things that are meant for just our temporary use on this earth. So they are still doing the same thing today. You see, I keep saying we must not fixate ourselves so much in the past that we lose sight of what is happening now. That could be even more dangerous. Because when it comes to the salvation of human beings or mortal beings in this earth, you must flag up the truth and you must insist on the truth, because without the truth, you won't get there. So it is so painful that people preferred, and listen to this, just listen to this. It is the same people that want to teach you that you must not prefer golden eggs over the goose that laid it. The same people who want to educate you and say it is foolish to prefer golden eggs over the goose that laid it. Tell me what in this world has a meaning, has a name, has a value without mortal beings? Nothing at all. Now, but these people preferred the things that mortal beings give names, give meaning, and give values. They prefer these things over the lives of mortal beings. That tells you about the confusion in their heads. That tells you about the level of insanity in their heads. That tells you that the human side is not activated. So, and it has continues because it is in their blueprint to continue this way. In fact, in their heads, they believe that mortal beings can overpopulate this earth. Now, I want to teach them something today. I want to teach everybody something right now. And I want to go back to the beginning, because my first statement is about going to the roots. I want to remind us all, everybody that is sharing this world as a tenant, I want to remind everybody about our journey into this world, because it's so easy to understand. I want everybody to know that each of us is simply a byproduct of two strangers' sexual intercourse. At the time, your so-called parents, because you much later got to know them and refer to them as parents, you much later, because at the time they were indulging in that sexual intercourse, they were mere strangers, both to you, and you are strangers to them. It's important we capture this. And when each of us emerged from that womb, we were totally naked. We were totally empty-handed. We were so vulnerable to the extent that we depended on other people for our survival. It's important we capture these things, very, very critical. Now, when we arrived, everything was already here. We brought nothing because we were coming in empty-handed. What I'm saying is applicable to all of us seated here. It's applicable to the late Queen of England. It's applicable to Joe Biden. It's applicable to Putin. It's applicable to every human being. Now, it is not only applicable to us, it is applicable to our parents and our ancestors. As far as you came from a woman's womb, this thing is applicable to everybody. So, everything was here before we came. And God so loved this world that he actually deposited what I call limitless resources. And he also made the world to be elastic. The world we are living in is elasticated. People need to understand that. What God then did was to give each of us unique gifts. Unique, each of us. That's why no matter how identical a twin is, they are unique in their personality because they are born to serve one another. We need to capture this, because without the truth, and without this truth, we're going nowhere. we are going to all be suicidal, because as you're killing others, you're destroying yourself in the process, because you're just a psychopath. You're just crazy because you don't know what you're doing. Now, based on this uniqueness that God put in us, he also attached limitations so that you have to subscribe and others will have to subscribe to you. Now, because the world is elastic and the limitless resources in it is such that in mortal beings with all these gifts and all these limitations, it is only in mortal beings that the expansion of the world, as well as the extraction of these limitless resources, are embedded. Now, if you don't capture this truth, you will think that mortal beings can overpopulate the world, because you're judging the world based on what your limited eyesight can see. You would think that mortal beings can liquidate or would be able to liquidate the limitless resources on this earth. The question I ask them, and what I ask everybody who is thinking this way, is to please give me the number of sand inside and outside the waters of this earth. Once you can give me that answer, then I will say they are correct in believing that mortal beings can overpopulate the earth or can liquidate the limitless resources in this world. The question I ask such beings is to give me the accurate number of stars in the firmament. I also ask them to please tell me whether they brought in a sand in this world, whether they brought in a stone, a stick, whether they brought in a grass into this world. Now, if they can't do that, then let me make it clear that these people are profoundly psychotic. But it is a shame that psychosis, it is a big shame that psychiatry, as far as I know, is a fraud to the poor, to the weak, to the vulnerable, because psychiatry failed to address the needs of those who needed it most. And those who needed it most are these people who came into this world naked, totally empty-handed, vulnerable to the extent that they required others for their survival. And in fact, on exit, it is also others that will exit them. But they lost sight of this and began to claim ownership of things they never owned and they will never own. And based on the claims, they are killing fellow mortal beings and sending them to a destination they themselves must attain, a destination they know nothing about. The Queen was just buried a few, well, don't know whether it's a few weeks ago or a week ago or so. I'm not doing those calculations. But I would really love to know how much of the gold that he went with, and whether she was given checks to cash where she's going, or whether it was cash that they gave her. I would really want to know all those claims of owning Nigeria, owning this place, owning this where I would really love to know how much she has taken. And I keep getting startled. I'm telling you, I get startled each time I feel, is it that we can't learn lessons from what we are seeing with our own eyes? Let me tell you something that will surprise you. I hope it wouldn't. Do you know that God so blessed this world? We have so much resources that you find that the war being fought right now is not for anything else other than hegemony. The amount being wasted right now, the destruction that is going on across the globe, especially in Ukraine, the amount alone is enough. The amount America, Europe are pouring is enough to cure poverty across the world. I'm just talking about this particular one. I'm not talking about the money we spend on ammunition, building them. In fact, when you look at even Americans' military budget or defense budget, I mean, you begin to ask, why are we? The world is so full of resources. Many, countless untapped. We haven't tapped it yet. So I want to tell everybody today that because God chose mortal beings alone for the expansion of the world and for the extraction of the world's limitless resources, it is impossible for human beings to overpopulate this earth. And it's also impossible for human beings to liquidate the natural resources, the limitless natural resources in this world. I need people to understand that. And if they think it is not true, let them give me the number of sand in this world.
Right.
And let them tell me how they brought one sand in this world. And based on this, I call on Biafrans to wake up and smell the coffee. And Biafrans must go forward for their freedom, because the freedom of man cannot be compromised. I said this because I know, in fact, I don't know whether it's going to form part of our discussion today. I overheard Bill Clinton say that people don't want to be controlled anymore. But I want to remind Bill Clinton that. Is it coming?
Yes, it's coming.
So let me make my comment. I'm still going to repeat it then.
Okay.
I want to remind Bill Clinton that there has never been a time when human beings are happy to be controlled or meant to be controlled. And I need to ask him whether he nor his wife, Hillary, or their daughter, Chelsea, would like to be controlled. Now, if you cannot, if you don't like to be controlled, and your own children, your own adult children, you can't control, you must be sick in your head to believe that another adult, a community, a country, continental, that you're supposed to be cooperating and collaborating and complementing with, wants to be controlled. Because for you to say people don't want to be controlled, it means that you believe that you said they don't want to be controlled anymore, as if there was a time they wanted to be controlled.
Yes.
I mean, that is a shock.
Critical.
So let me leave it here for now by saying that it is only the insane that believes that mortal beings can actually overpopulate this world. And let me give you an example of how we can't overpopulate the world. Do you know that it is only mortal beings that can build skyscrapers?
Definitely.
Do you know that it's only mortal beings that God gave the power to even build on seas and build and look, people, look, I don't think this is the problem. The problem is that when people have not understood who they are, okay? When people have not understood what they are meant to be doing, they are mere mad people. When you haven't understood who you are simply mad. It doesn't matter whether you are queen, king, whether you are professor. You're just a mad person because you don't even know your identity.
Thank you.
Let me leave it here for you.
Thank you so much, Mazi Gadaffi. What is on your mind? I was just observing you because I know so many things were coming into your mind as you heard and Prince, talking about this. Please say something. Say something that you have to say.
Yeah, my brother, mentor, our boss, and our friend, Prince, you really made a total summarize on the issue happening today or these days. I used to say that human right does not exist in African soil. Now, when we talk about human right, doesn't exist in African soil. You can see that is why when Clinton said we are no longer being controlled or we don't want to be controlled, you can see like something happened around where I was sitting here, there was a lady that got drunk. You know, if it's in Africa, the brothers, the parents got to bundle this girl into their house or even beat up the girl. But do you know what? They were pleading and begging her to go back to the house. She refused. And all of us from the African soil was a kind of angry. Can't you beat this girl, beat hell out of this girl? You know? So you understand? Due to the kind of mentality we have within our side, we don't adopt this woman rights. That is why you see anything happens in African soil. That's why you see the Americans will come to our soil and behave as they like and go back to their place, because they already know that our location, our mentality has been contaminated, as in we no longer see the. You understand? You know, when there is a palace and there is a dungeon, they look at African soil as a dungeon, that anything takes place there. Our leader called Nigeria zoo. I said, in zoo, many things are in order. I can call Nigeria as a forest. If wild animal didn't kill you, as we believe in Africa, dangerous spirits might kill you as well. So like in Nigeria today, if police didn't kill you, soldier didn't kill you, Boko Haram will kill you. If Boko Haram didn't kill you, politicians will kill you. You can see, nobody checkmates what happens in Africa. Nobody checkmates the attitude of the politicians. Nobody held responsible for their actions. That is why you see, when they look at us, they said, these people, this is not our priority for now. Because, first of all, you have to compose yourself and know what is good for yourself before somebody can look at you. You understand? You can't leave your home dirty and expect outsider to come and sweep it for you. So first of all, the Biafran people got to change our mentality. We are most traveled tribe in this whole world. We have gone far and near. We have learned how to live life. That is why we want a nation where we can rearrange people's mentality, where we can rearrange the way of things. You know, it's no longer as usual. It becomes as it is. You understand? Like here now, like here, in this country that I am today, you don't fight, no matter what, for no reason. In fact, if as I am today, if I want to fight, I'll look at my pocket, do I have $1,000? Then if I do, then I can go and fight. You know, when we come to this place, we obey the law, we obey their rule. But when we go back to our place, you no longer check your pocket. Do I have $1,000 before I start fighting? You see, these are this kind of attitude we are generating down there in Africa. That is why these people that feel they get ahead of us somehow can tell you that, leave these people. They are not important, because they have not seen themselves being important. You understand? We have not valued what we have within ourselves, knowing that the democracy that everybody enjoy out there started from us. You understand? So knowing very well that this is who we are, like you rightly said, Prince, you got to know who you are. Because you don't know who you are, you're a mad person. So you understand? When you now understand that this thing that these people are enjoying started from my ancestors. We are unique tribe, we are unique people, but we don't know who we are. That's why you see somebody can just come up and gun down people and nobody talks. Nobody's held responsible. It is because of the killings that made our women to rise up to say no, enough is enough. You know why? Because the men were afraid. Likewise, I always draw a reference from where I am. You know, they value women more than men.
Because when it was their time between South Korea and Japan, female women came out. They stood on their ground. You understand? So if it is a place that something is being done well, properly, about women riot is not something that we can just look at and overlook. It's supposed to be a memorial. You understand? It's supposed to be a memorial. It's supposed to be a thing to say, for this very move, we need to celebrate our women. For this very move, we have to empower our women. And we live in a country that doesn't think, they don't even have a history in their curriculum. So we now, the young generation, we said, no, we can't mix up with these people. People that value cow more than the human life. You understand? People who can kill thousands of people because of one cow. So we are not supposed to mix up with this kind of people. You understand? So because of this, we today celebrate or remembered Asaba Massacre. It is an event that no single human being has been held responsible for the massacre in Asaba. No single human being has been held responsible for killing over 10 million Biafran. In starvation, they kill our child, our women, our children, our wives, our mother, our youth, because of we live a place that anything goes. That is why you can see the blockage of air, land, and sea. There has never been in a place in this world, I never read any history that kind of thing was applied to any race. But it happens to us. None of us, even those ones that call themselves elite, nobody has risen up to said, we got to hold these people responsible for these acts, for this genocide. That is why when they look at you, they say, they are not our our whatever. You understand? No, because you have not valued yourself. You have not seen yourself that this thing must stop. That is why you see we at this generation has come up to fight for this Biafra, because we have seen things. Let me tell you, somebody asked, why is it that the people living in outside shore, living in abroad, are the people that's always at the forefront about this Biafra thing? I answered a simple question. I said, because a man who has never seen 50,000 and have been seeing 40, 20 down, he will never know that there's what they call 1 million. The person never tests what they call billions. But from the moment you begin to test million, you will know that this is your 40,000 who have been stupid all along. So we are out there. We see how human beings live. We see that politicians in abroad no longer campaign. I want to build your road. I want to give you lights. I want to give you, you know, I want to give you water. No, this thing a normal thing of life. It's not something to use to campaign. You see that in where we come from, this useless country called Nigeria, you see that somebody in this millennium, in this age, somebody can still come and say, I want to tie your road. I want to give you water, skin. I want to give you good health. Okay, let me tell you. I am having seriously eyes problem. I went to hospital, you know. I paid some amount. The government said, oh, you got insurance. Okay, we have to pay you. We have to subsidize your medical bill. You understand? During the time of COVID-19, we that are not indigenous here, money were given to us because they disturbed some of our jobs. Most of us didn't go to work. Most of us go on quarantine, you know. These are nations, and none of us has risen up to say, no, this is not good. No, this is not good for my people. That is why when Nnamdi Kanu rise up, Simon Ekpa rise up, we today have risen up. It looks strange to those people that have never seen the other side of life. That's why they believe in obedience, not knowing that obedience is a distraction to the real thing. It's like somebody, you have a diamond out there and you saw a silver. You now settle because I've seen a silver here. Forgotten, there's a diamond ahead of you. That's why you see the lazy youth, as the late Buhari called them, settle on obedience. And none of them can critically analyze.
I don't want to lose that point. I wanted to just add to it before you proceed.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
People are being offered the head, but they say no, they don't want the head. Take the head off, give us the ear. That's what obedience represents.
Exactly.
People are being given the head so they can become human beings and live. They say no, cut out the head, just give us the ear.
Just not the ear only.
So they don't know they don't know they are dead. They just want the ear.
Completely dead.
So proceed.
Yeah, you understand. So when I look at these men, I feel sorry for them. You know why? They've not seen how human beings live. They don't know that the most expensive phone, iPhone 12 or whatever, you can use your only ID card as a Korean indigene or as a Korean citizen, go to where they produce it and tender your ID card, it be written and give to you. You can pay the money, if you like, you can pay it 20 years. You want to drive a car, you go to where they manufacture car. Now tell me, what does Nigerian manufacture? Ordinary toothpick, they don't manufacture. And you look at, like I told my community WhatsApp where I belong to, I asked them, election, obedient. Since your father were born till today, who has election help? So, Obi, people fail to analyze that Obi is a man who was called to distract what we are doing. There's an Hausa man that was making a speech. He said they are supporting Obi, at least Biafran agitation will go. I say, wow. This is the main point of Obi. At least Biafran agitation will go. You understand? Biafran agitation will go. That's why they brought Obi to distract what we are doing. For few of us, or some of us, or many of us who know the end from the beginning, we are telling them, no. Okay. Take your Obi, give us the Biafra. I will step aside, sir, so that maybe you will have one or two.
Let's take from them
because they've not seen anything. They've not seen the other side of life. They think what they are living today is the best way to live, and that is the lowest way of life. That was the lowest. That is the lowest. Since I come to South Korea, I have never seen where lights go off.
Let's take it up from there now. You see, there's something that Prince mentioned. You know, he talked about control, and he basically adjudged the issue of resources, human continuity, and at a point where we are disconnected from those resources, when we're no more mortal beings. We have left this world and all of that, and we are now disconnected from these resources. Now, let's link it now to what Clinton said. Clinton was actually talking about the main bone of contention that has been the problem all these years, just to control Africa: resources. Now, we bring it down to what we are, you know
what he's saying is that he's trying to say that Biafrans are now wise.
Yes.
They are not, they know they are left from their right. We're just like a child who is a prince.
Yes.
And your father died when you were young. And another person got to hold the post for you to grow. And the person know that they have grown and he's just looking at you. You know what he's waiting for? The day you will rise to come and meet him and said, give me back my rights.
Yes. Yes. Now, you know what? I want to link it now to what Oganiru Biafra said here. Let's look at it, because I want Prince to say something on this, and then Gadaffi will now take it up from there. Prince said, Gadaffi said, Oganiru said, not Gadaffi said. Now look at what Oganiru said. He said, when the price of keeping the oil, now we're talking about resources, and then the control the basic reason for power is because of these resources we're looking at now. He says when the price of keeping the oil flowing is higher than, just like what Mazen Simon says, when the price of keeping our leader in cell, is more than the price of, the price of keeping him is more than the price of freeing him, then they will begin to consider, because human beings always want to look at what is not as expensive to them, so that they will be able to at least what does not cost them so much. So now he says, when the price of keeping the oil flowing is higher than shutting down the oil flow, only then would they take our interest serious in the West Africa region. Biafra is the only solution. Please, Prince, what do you have to say about this? Then Gadaffi will say something also about this. Let's look at what Ogadiri is saying here.
This statement is so brilliant, because I remember Mazin Nandekano saying, take this oil away. We don't need it. Take this oil away. Let my people use their God-given talent and manifest themselves. That is a true leader. And that is what this is all about. And to be quite honest, if it's possible to rid humanity of this oil, however it can be taken out, so that mortal beings, because God gave us so much talent, so much, we haven't even begun to tap into it. We just have crazy people who introduce narratives that are drawn from the wild, and they are running with it, and they want to convince everyone. In fact, there was something Gadaffi said and I was happy, and I wanted to go back there, when he talked about human rights and the lack of human rights in Africa. But before I deal with that, and in connection with this, and I'm talking to the powers that be and everybody else now, humanity I'm addressing, whether people actually know what is the greatest crime on earth, greatest inhumane act on earth. I can tell you, people will give you different answers, but let me tell you what it is. The worst crime on earth, sick condition or offer yourself to be conditioned. I want you to, these two, they are very critical. The worst crime on earth, the worst evil, the worst sin, people don't even know this. Condition someone else or to be conditioned, because mortal beings are meant to be conditioned. That was why God gave each man, and man means man and woman, autonomy, free will, and choice. Even choice to choose between themselves, between the devil and the God itself. The free choice given to us. It's only animals. Even to condition animal is also a pain, because animals are supposed to be allowed to be natural. They don't condition a human being, because when you seek to condition a human being, what you trying to get yourself in that person has a unique thing to offer, not themselves, but humanity. But you're seeking to condition that person. You see, what we are charged to do in this world, and in fact, the clever people do it with their children, is to give children as much information as they themselves have. You give them that information as much as you can to enable them to develop their own uniqueness. So you're not there to force them or condition them to be like you.
Oh, I think we lost him there. I think his network signal. He will come on. Please, Gadaffi, take it up from there. When he comes, he continues also. Please take it up from there.
All right. Yeah, like we are saying about the flow of oil, or the cost of keeping the oil to keep on flowing.
Please, as you gotta hold your thoughts there. Let him continue so you finish up, and then.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
please.
So please, I wanted people to understand this because it's very important. Remember, without the truth, humanity is finished. And I'm trying to hit at the truth, the core thing. So when you allow yourself as a Biafran to be conditioned to think the way others think, to think that what Europeans are telling you is the truth, you have committed the greatest sin before God, because what you have done is you have failed to activate the uniqueness in yourself to know that there is something you ought to be contributing to humanity for your own good, for my good, and for the entire good of humanity. And when you seek to condition another person, you have destroyed the equation, because the fingers are created to be different so they can offer their uniqueness. If any two fingers become the same, you destroy the equation. So this is the worst crime people are committing. So when you talk about human rights, Gadaffi, my brother, when you talk about human rights, I want you to know that, first of all, majority of Africans have accepted that they are animals. And majority of Europeans believe that they are animals. Now, let me tell you what happens when a mortal being either believes, thinks, or accepts that they are animals. Let me tell you what happens, because it's important we understand these things. Now, because it is impossible for a mortal being to be an animal, okay? Once a mortal being thinks, believes, or accepts that they are animals, they would now behave and act worse than animals. Let me tell you why. You will agree with me that no animal has autonomy, free will, conscience, nor will be facing any consequences, because they act instinctively according to what nature offers them and how human beings behave. They act instinctively. That's what is given to animals. Now, because of that, no animal has the capacity to plan evil or execute evil. They can't plan it because it has to happen spontaneously. No animal, I want to tell you why. Once you accept that you are an animal, you will act worse than an animal. You will behave worse than an animal. No animal has the capacity to go and carry out an experiment in order to produce chemicals, in order to produce toxic materials, in order to produce poison, in order to do harm. They cannot deploy, or use weapons. Have you seen any animal carry a gun and begin to shoot it? Or take a stone and begin to throw it? No. Now, once a mortal being thinks, believes, or accepts that they are animals, they will automatically become worse than animals. That's why Europeans are acting worse than animals. That's why Africans are acting worse than animals, because they accepted the narratives that mortal beings are either primates to apes, or they are higher animals, or they are basically animals. Once you accept that madness, I am sorry, you become worse than animals. And you will be treated worse than animals, because what Africans are facing right now is worse than animals. If you killed 10 dogs right now and put them on the street, CNN will go mad, the world will go mad. But they see thousands of Africans killed, and in fact, they tell you it's not their business. Because mortal beings have been reduced beneath animals. So that thought that you are an animal makes you perform worse than an animal, and I'll accept your performance as if it is normal. So I wanted to say this so you begin to understand the root of the problem. So you cannot now feel that somebody who is acting worse than an animal will give you human rights. Human right means nothing. In fact, if there is any right, they will give it to animals because they value animals more than you. And in fact, you have valued animals yourself more than yourself by accepting that you are animal. So your behavior, your action, even without knowing it, will be sub-animal. So I wanted people to capture that. So we understand why things are the way they are. Because without this understanding, you will not begin to make the necessary adjustments required to prove yourself as a human being. Because until you begin to yield your uniqueness, nobody will value you. If you're here just to repeat what another person does, or agree with what everybody else says, or go with the flow because the crowd is moving this way, you just go. Sorry, you have no value to yourself, to myself, to the other person, to humanity. Until you introduce your uniqueness, because God gave each something unique. When you introduce it, people will respect you. They would value you. All this nonsense will stop. So I urge all Biafrans, the land of the rising sun, this rising sun that will come to illuminate the world. I ask all of you to wake up to this reality and begin to take your space, occupy your space. Look, I'll never be afraid of dying because everybody is subject to death. Every killer must be killed by the same death. So don't be afraid. Let nobody use death to scare you. Because let me tell you, even when you die, people don't know the mystery in death. Go and study the seed and what happens to a seed that is cultivated, that is buried under the soil. Go and study it. Then you know that you shouldn't be afraid of death. Don't be afraid of death. Because when you kill the truth would die and would be buried and would germinate and multiply itself into many truths. And then you are in trouble. When the devil was getting rid of Jesus, the devil thought he had achieved it. He didn't know that Christ was going to explode. So there is bigger science that is higher than this man-made weak science that can't see anything. So don't be afraid of he who is only subject to the air that we breathe. He who is not promised tomorrow, but is claiming the future. Don't be afraid of them. Claim your crown, claim your authority on earth, because the job you have been given in this world, you must account for it. There is no other place where you're going to perform that job. It is here on earth. Unleash the truth without fear or favor, and make sure you die only once, not 1 million times. Because when you activate that truth, you will not only be liberating yourself, you will liberate even the Europeans that are subjugating you. Because they have eyes, but they can't see. They have ears, but they can't hear. They are waiting on you to save them, because these are psychopaths, sociopaths. These are eugenists. These are crazy people. And you don't have to fear when it comes to unleashing the truth, based on practical evidence that can be proven. So you have no fear than to go for the truth. The truth is where life lives. The truth is where humanity resides. And that is where God, the Chukwokike, resides. So you should not be afraid of it. Save your soul by latching onto the truth and understanding the true science that is superior to every other thing we are doing here. On that note, I thank you.
Thank you so much for that submission. Please, Mazi Gadaffi, your thoughts now on this.
You know, like the prince said, he said, don't be a coward. A coward dies 1,000,000 times before he dies. Like those days, we run things in the creek. We say one thing must kill a man. You know, one thing must kill a man. And I used to tell them, I'll create a history. I'll create 2 history. I'll be the only man who is alive and conduct his burial, because I already see myself being a dead man. When time comes, you will see it in the Biafra land. One thing is sure is that the lesser agitators give way for us to emerge. And these are men that were born to restore Biafra. We have come. Our purpose here on earth, we must fulfill. One thing I want to tell every Biafran is that we have to march, and we are going to march. We have seen the good side of life, the bad side of life. Even Bible said, I set before you this day, good and evil, life and death. It is say, I charge you to choose life. And the Bible said, those that don't value their life, we have this life. So, sir, like you said, when we understand who we are, that we are the Biafra, the light that illuminate the whole earth. When you understand, you change your thinking, knowing that obedience is not your answer. It's not answer to your suffering. What is the answer is Biafra. And this Biafra is a place where we don't value this oil. The lazy Fulanis, the lazy caliphate, value the oil. Everything they do. Let me tell you, I was open to something. In this the 8th bank on the whole earth that are into investment. There's capital investment, this kind of investment. Now, a nation can, if you invest Singapore, one of the banks is in Singapore. I will as we proceed, I'll remember the name. Do you know that a nation, China is involved in this trade? About 8 strong nations. Now my eyes were open to see that the waste resources that are the politicians are wasting on this earth is more than what can be numbered. I see it. I've seen it. I see that a real nation doesn't even need to depend on oil to survive. If the people who is reasonable, because they made us lower than animal. Do you know, in Cameroon, I was doing elephant tusk business. And if you are caught shot one elephant in Cameroon, you go to 21 years in prison. The same Cameroon are killing Ambazonians with impunity. But these people value animals. They say they are in wildlife conservation. But these same people kill human beings at random, massacre people, burn people inside their home. That is to draw from what the prince said, that they look at us, we are lower than animal. That's the way they see us. Now, if they don't see you lower than animal, how can you shoot an animal and you go to jail and you can kill human beings in thousands and nothing happens to you? That is the Fulani man's mentality. We are not supposed to live with this kind of state of people.
And that is the conditioning I'm talking about. The conditioning.
Yeah. Yeah. You understand? Okay, like how here we are. Here I am. I use as an example. They don't have single oil. Single oil. For years that I've been in this country, I never see gas cylinder. Gas is piped to every house. Ceaselessly. I never touched my gas. I said, I see that there was no gas. You don't have gas because you don't pay. Only. But they don't have single oil.
Sorry, my brother Gadaffi. People are asking whether they can call in. Do you have a calling mechanism,
yes,
my brother?
I'm going to set. I just want us to finish up. Then I'm going to put up the
no,
number.
I just wanted to know. That's what. Please proceed.
Yes.
Okay, sir. So, sir, you can see where we find ourselves. That is why you see, by my own belief, by my own calculation, I believe that the most useless human being on earth is people that are dragging for resource control. They are the most foolish set of human beings on earth. That this is our oil, our oil, our oil. But when Interland Biafra talk about unity, talk about let's us get Biafra. They say they want to come and dominate us. They want to come and take our oil. But somebody make a statement that oil in Bayelsa State belongs to Jigawa State. You never cough. Nobody has challenged that wealth. I can say fully I'm into oil. I know most of the oil blocks that are owned by the Northerners. Northerners is only few cartel, few that has little like 10% equity, 5% equity in our oil block that flow from the Biafra land. The one, people like Emeka for them, people like this useless man them, they have less than 10% equity. I can count how many people in the whole Niger Delta that has up to 10% equity in the oil that flow from their land, and the oil that damage their river, the oil that pollutes their place. But when you tell them, come, let us get this Biafra, is it not the oil you want? Keep your oil. Still, they are
Gadaffi, my brother. Gadaffi, my brother. Gadaffi, my brother.
Go ahead, sir.
Let me assure you of something. Because we are both spirit and body. I need you to get something here right now. And there is something I would say after that, in fact, because I have so much going on in my brain. But let me say this to you. Gadaffi, we believe in the power of God Almighty. And when I say this, I could get emotional because I feel so much pain that humanity got lost and didn't quite understand what they were here to do. And I will spend my time to make sure I narrate what we are here to do so everybody gets to know. Gadaffi, my brother, let me say this to you. We work with Chukwu, God Almighty. In fact, scientists who are confused call God Big Bang, but they deny. They don't even know that it is God they are calling Big Bang. Because when a scientist says Big Bang, a scientist is accepting that science did not create anything. They are accepting that and science can never create anything. Science can only recreate from things that have already been created. So when they say Big Bang, they are referring to God. We call it Chukwu Okike. Chukwu kere ihe niile, because we know nobody created anything. Now, we work with this God. It is this God we are talking about. Now, I want you to know how this God operates. Because when you get to know it now, you won't even bother yourself with most of the things now about whether they understand the oil block or whether they're not. This is the principle of Chukwu Okike, and that's why I know Biafra is here. Nobody will stop it.
At all.
Now, Chukwu Okike is a God that does not mess about with his glory. He secures his glory each time he wants it displayed here on earth.
Please, just hold on one moment, please, dear friends. We'll give you time to call in. I have not displayed the number yet, but I know somebody is calling now. So please, after this now, you're going to call in. We're going to give you the time, to call in. So please hold on. Just listen to the analysis so that you can get the information right. Then you can call. Please go on, sir.
So there is something God does when he wants his glory to be manifested and doesn't want it to be stolen. First of all, God will ensure that it is a moment of impossibility where people believe this is impossible. It can't happen.
Bam.
Because when it is possible, the glory of God is denied. When it is possible, those that made it possible will claim God's glory.
Yes.
And in order to show God's glory, what God does is to take 1, 2, 3, few people or even one person to do the impossibility, so his glory cannot be denied and nobody can steal it. That was why Nnamdi Kanu had to be kidnapped, so that the few individuals that are required to bring Biafra would emerge. And they are here now.
Bam.
Forget about Peter Obi and all these. The crowd are renowned to being useless anyway. The crowd are gullible from history. That's why today they say Hosanna, tomorrow they sing Crucify Him. That is the crowd for you.
That's it.
So don't be afraid of the crowd, and don't be afraid of all the shenanigans and all the madness going out there, making it look impossible, because those are the conditions that God requires in order to deliver. But rest assured that the people that understand how God operates are here to work with God, to actualize God's purposes for Biafra. That is one thing. Now, I want to tell you what mortal beings are on this earth to do, because it's important we understand what we are doing here on earth. And that job is very temporary. That job is the same as what anybody, forget about the Pope, Bishop of Archbishop of Canterbury, forget about all those uniforms. We are all here for equal but different purposes, so we understand. I earlier on reminded you about our arrival here on earth, how empty we were. I reminded you of that. And I reminded you that each of us came in with unique talents. Attached to that unique talents is what I call limitations. I hope you got all those.
Very well.
Sure.
Now, this is the deal. Because God is only in humanity, it's only in mortal beings that God gave that power to alter things. We are here to alter nature, alter animals, alter even ourselves, but with limitations. And in fact, when I talk about this, I feel like inviting people like Mark Zuckerberg, who are those that claim to be the big tech owners. I feel like bringing them so I can share with them. Not that I want to instruct them, but I share with them, because this is critical. And that's part of the things that Biafra will help them to learn and develop, because the world is yet undeveloped. The world is yet to be developed. There is no civilization going on anywhere. People think there is civilization. There is no righteousness happening anywhere. People think there is right. Nothing. We are yet, the truth is yet to descend. And that's one of the things Biafra will bring. People need to understand it. Biafra is coming for a purpose. It's a light. So don't miss. And that's why the devil is fighting everything to stop this light. The devil knows what is coming. He doesn't want the light. It wants to remain in darkness. But when God says it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And it's going to happen. It has already happened spiritually. We are waiting for the physical manifestation of Biafra. That's all we are waiting for now. So now, this is the deal. We are given the power and authority to alter things on earth with limitations. And I give you an example of what altering means with limitations, so you know. I don't know whether does anybody have a dog in this house? Any of you two, do you have a dog?
No, I don't.
You don't, okay. You might ask those who have dog. In fact, you don't need to ask them to know that we alter animals. For example, looking at the dog. If you left the dog naturally, their diet is chosen from birth, and their diet is standard. And wherever you see dogs, they will eat the same thing. But because of the power given to mortal beings, you can begin to make a dog eat grass by mixing it with meat. This is now you are altering the dog. Are you getting my point?
Very well.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you can do that with many things and get the dogs to start even eating rice and eating the things you as a human being eat.
Yeah.
I'm giving you the altering capacity of man. But now let me talk a little bit about the limitations. Your limitation stops right there. Especially when now you want to teach that dog how to go and reproduce what it eats. You can't be able to do that. No dog, no animal can reproduce what they eat because animals have no capacity to cultivate. And no human being can make a dog go and prepare its own food or go and plant and reproduce what it eats. Did you understand your power to alter and your limitation?
That is it.
Now, let me eat deeper into that so you see where we are coming from and the sort of things Biafra will bring to humanity in order to free humanity from bondage across the world. This is not only about Fulani, it's about Britain, it's about the whole human beings are in bondage. Because when you hold another man down, you will stay down with them.
Very well.
You will stay down with them. Do you know that in European government, okay, 85% of the work they do is just based on how to keep Africa down. That's just what they wake up in the morning to go and plan. That's all they do. I know France for that, France in particular, because they want to have a siesta between 2 and 4 o'clock out of the money they steal from Africa. So their occupation is how to hold humanity down. So, but we're going to liberate them. We're going to liberate them, because humanity is not a commodity belonging to any individual, any community, any country, any continent. No, humanity belongs to God. You can't restrict it forever. Now, so now I want to go deeper so you see what we are here to do. Mortal beings were introduced last into this world for a purpose, because after the arrival of mortal beings, nothing else was created and nothing else will ever be created. What God now gave us power to do is to do what we call recreation. That means when people say we are creatives, they don't know what they're talking about. No human being can create anything. We recreate based on what is already created. We recreate. So God, we are the only people on earth given the power to walk in partnership with nature. We are here to walk in partnership with nature to introduce new things to the world, to a level where all animals depend on us and or mortal and or nature. All animals depend on us and or nature for what they eat. Do you understand that?
Very well.
That is our job on earth, and we need to capture it. And that's why we are not animals. As soon as you become an animal, you will stop. You can never think of engaging the soil with a seed. You will never again. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So we are here to work in partnership with God through nature to reproduce what animals eat.
Right.
So please, and we are not God because we created nothing, and we can never create anything. Rather, we recreate based on what is already created. So I hope that is clear.
Yes. Please, give us your finishing thoughts on that, and then we'll now open the lines for the people to call in. I'll post the number right now, and then the people can begin to call in. So please go on. You were actually trying to conclude on that, Gadaffi. Please just do it, and then we can get the people to come.
The thing I want to also remind the people is to know that we are here to remember the Asaba massacre. We are also here to remember the Obibo massacre. We are as well to remember the ongoing massacre that's going on in Imo State. And also Ngwa National High School, Mkpo Junction, all the massacre that take place. Like what we analyzing yesterday, we now discover that the Obibo massacre that are taken to International Criminal Court of Justice was for political jamboree. It wasn't filed because the dead want to get justice. No, it wasn't filed because they are working for Biafra. No, they are filed because they are working for their paymaster, who is the politician. Because we now understand that Bruce Finn are working for Atiku. And we begin to ask Biafran people questions so that we want to refresh this, so that whosoever want to call, we put it in consideration. The question we ask Biafran people, why now that Atiku has problem with Nyesom Wike is when Bruce Finn want to bring up Obibo massacre alone? Why didn't he include Imo State Olo massacre, Anambra State massacre, all the massacre that are ongoing in Biafra land? Why did he single out only Obibo massacre? Is it because his master and Nyesom Wike is having problem? So when we begin to ask these questions, I want Biafran people also to ask the question as well. Why now, over 2 years that the Obibo massacre issue took place, why now that somebody somewhere from nowhere have come to begin to file a court case, single out Obibo? What about the Asaba massacre? Who has been held responsible for that genocide that was committed against people? Who the massacre? Who has been held responsible? Why only Obibo the file? So in that, we begin to understand that they are not working for us. They use our name to score cheap goals. They use our name to do their business as a business people they are. So I'm not saying because I support Wike. No, I don't support Wike. Neither do I support the killings that Wike perpetrated in Obibo. But I just want to condemn. My father said, when you want to be white, be white. When you want to be black like charcoal. You understand? So if some people said they have achieved, done, dusted, and filed the case Obibo massacre is now criminal court of justice, this, we begin to ask why now? So if Atiku and Wike doesn't have problem, so the date in Obibo will not be remembered. That means if Atiku and Wike doesn't have issue, if Wike was the vice president of Atiku, that means nobody will remember about the massacre in Obibo.
Please,
so,
please
sir, you want to
don't go until I have said something along this line, because this is wonderful. And that's why I talk about critical analysis. Critical analysis. So do you want me to go now, or do you want to finish?
You can bomb in. You can throw the bomb.
Thank you. Thank you.
Division of labor.
Now I want to call on Biafrans to understand this, and I'm so grateful to our brother Gadaffi. You see, I want people to understand that in the whole of this world, African lives are cheap, very cheap. But the life of Biafrans are the cheapest. I hope you understand the difference. In the whole of this world, African lives are very cheap, cheaper than that of animals. But Biafran lives are the cheapest, but people haven't understood it. And it is the British government that made it so. So, and what I'm going to do now, I'm linking it to Peter Obi so people understand. You see what Gaddafi said now? I need you to know that the killing of Biafrans is almost a trophy, not only to Fulani, but British government and to the people of the world. That is why, even as Biafrans, it doesn't matter to the world. It doesn't matter to anybody. In fact, the world is happy. I need you to know this. This is a fact. That's why all the places where there are genocide, there's always been something happening. But the genocide committed against Biafra till today is swept under the carpet.
Yeah.
And Fulani and Britain will use all these puppets called governors to slaughter our people. And there will never be any question asked until these people begin to go contrary to what they want. Now they want to use that thing. They want to now use what they know is a crime, but they welcomed as a weapon against those who now have decided. Now, this is what is happening with Peter Obi right now. I need people to know it's not just that Peter Obi supported the killing of Biafrans. That's nothing. What people need to understand here is this. The same thing they used Azikiwe to do is what they're using Peter Obi to achieve now.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, the worst thing for Biafrans will be for Obi to get there, because Obi will slaughter you all, and in fact will win a trophy for it.
Very well.
Obi cannot touch Boko Haram, cannot touch any of... People don't even understand what is coming. The killing of Biafrans is a trophy for these people, unless they go contrary. Now, let me tell you, there are things they are holding against Obi right now, the same way they were holding Azikiwe, because Azikiwe, they were going to charge him for money he borrowed, he took from ACB.
Yes.
When people hear, they say, oh, well, it was, Azikiwe was a kind man. He didn't want trouble. That's why he gave Prime Minister to... It's all a lie. He had to be used in that way because they reminded him that if he does not toe the lines, then he'll be in jail.
Yeah, exactly.
The same way, Obi, they are holding Obi because Obi took Anambra money out of the country into an offshore account. They have his number.
They have the records.
And the worst thing that will happen to Biafra is if Obi gets there, because they will use him to mop up Biafra like no one has ever done. And to the eye of the world, well, he's a fellow Igbo. He's not he's a fellow Biafran. He's not doing anything wrong. And they would use that they will keep using it to get Obi to achieve whatever they want to achieve. Any day Obi tries to deviate, they will remind him of the killing of Biafrans. Any day Obi tries to deviate, they'll say, oh, look, don't forget that we know about your transactions. So this is exactly what they are doing now with Wike.
Exactly.
People need to make the connections. That's why I say, never take anything anybody says on a face level. Look, the scripture warns us severely when it says the heart of man is wicked and deceitful. Okay? That is a warning from the scripture. What that means is that you can never take anything the world or anybody says to you without critically analyzing it. It's not just analyzing it. You must critically analyze it so that you can see all the corners. You can see everything at play. That is why God created each man and made all of us free and independent thinkers. You have to think for yourself. Don't go with what BBC, what this person, but they said it. Oh, who is they? Take the information, analyze it, critically go back and analyze it, So you can find what is all there. I'm warning Biafrans to wake up right here because the devil is at work. The devil wants to do whatever it takes to stop this light that is coming to the world from Biafra, from coming. That is just the warning. And I thank you.
Yeah. My Ambrose Kelechi.
Yes,
you know, what they're doing to Wike now is the same thing they did to Alamesi. Do you believe me? It will be difficult for someone to believe that the money they caught Alamesi with was not his money. But they see that Alamesi was always standing for his people. So the best thing to do to get the root of Niger Delta is to remove him. That's why they plotted the money. Now, let me ask you, Alamesi is the owner of All States Trust Bank. Why will he move with such cash? Do you understand?
Very well.
So the same, he is the owner of All State Trust Bank that graduated to Shenik Bank. So the owner of the bank, what will you go on with cash? Well, he can give it to his bankers. They wire it off record.
Yeah.
You understand? So when they know that you know, they hit you. That's why when people are celebrating, people that are supposed to know better.
They first set you up and then hit you.
Yeah. That they did it to, even Obasanjo did it to Atiku still. The Ngozo Konjiwala revealed it, told IBB. IBB told Atiku. That's why when Atiku enters his plane, he said, let's make a stopover in Egypt. He placed the money in the house of Mubarak because the money was placed inside his plane. At the end of the day, they fled to US. You had Atiku's house ransacked in US by FBI. You know what they were looking for? The money that was used to set him up.
Please, I have another 25 minutes. I have to attend some emergency meeting somewhere. It's very critical. So 25 minutes I have.
Okay, we're going to.
Okay, I have to round up now. So that because Biafran people would like to ask you some things they don't understand, so that we'll be able to talk to Biafran people. Yes. So, like I was saying, in order to punish Ngozo Konjiwala for what he revealed, they remove him from Minister of Finance, send her to Minister of Foreign Affairs. She got there and resigned. These are kind of things they do. Our lawyer who claimed that he's working for IPOB, that is working for Biafra, are celebrating done and dusted. Was it for us? Was it for our glory? It was to score political points against Wike, not because the dead have to want to get justice, not because the Bruce Wayne are working for Biafran people. He is loyal to his master, his friend, his client, Atiku. So I so submit. Thank you. So you can open the line.
Thank you so much, Biafrans. You've heard those great analysis. You know, that these are things that, you know, we don't have much time. We're still going to schedule, and that time you're going to hear more. Just don't worry. We see some of you saying, please, we want this to come again. We want this to continue and all of that. But we know that we have a call coming in. Please, you can call that number on WhatsApp, and then we'll be able to place you through, and then you can ask your questions or make your contributions. Okay, let me put this call. Hello, please. Hello, who's on the line? Okay, can you hear me? Please, can my panel hear him? Can you hear him, please?
Can you put it on speaker?
Okay, yeah, it's
put
on
it
speaker
on speaker.
now. It's on speaker.
Okay. Ken, okay.
Ken, okay, you will call him. Yes, go on, please.
Yeah, Gadaffi, I greet you. I think maybe you have had my name before, and the moderator also greet you. I greet our brother, our father, and our uncle.
It would be good if he can call back because we are not hearing him.
Okay, please. I think the volume here. Okay, let me see if I can put it to the speaker of the laptop so that I can. Please, say what you're saying again, please. Ken, go on, please.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Better.
I can hear you. Yes, it's better now. Go on.
Okay, thank you very much. Mazi Gadaffi, maybe he had heard me before or saw me somewhere before.
Okay, Mazi Gadaffi.
The moderator, and I'm also greeting our brother, father, and uncle that is with us today. I haven't heard from him before. This is my first time listening to him. It's my pleasure. So I don't have much to say, and I don't have much to say. So most times I always say to the advance that I come to me that we really have to install ourselves first. Installing ourselves first is to know who we are. Just to point our brother hidden on the stage. So what I just want to put we really have to know that we know who Biafrans are.
There is just a mixture of where I can't hear clearly.
Yeah, I think there's echo there.
Yeah, so I think something is talking on the background. So does he have a radio on or something?
I think Mazi Gadaffi, since you put on another device to hear that. Ken, please just hold on, please, before you ask them, so that we can have because the panel is not really hearing you very well. So please try to raise your voice this time so that they can hear you very well.
Turn off any gadgets around. Turn them off.
Yes. So please go on now, Ken. Please go on.
So can they hear me now?
Yes, can hear you. Mazi Gadaffi, can you hear?
Let him go on.
Okay. Prince, I can hear him
from there. Let him go on. Yeah.
Okay, go on, please. Go on, Ken.
Okay, thank you very much. I greet you all again, Mazi Gadaffi, and our brother, the moderator, and our big uncle, father, and the brother, who is my first time listening to him.
Okay, go on. Just go on. Let's see.
So, because I saw him waving, maybe they are not still hearing me, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it seems Gadaffi is not really hearing, but I think
go ahead.
Yes, just go on. I think they can hear you little, so go on.
Yeah, everything our brother just said, our big brother and uncle just said, is very great. There are things, that's why I said I don't have a question, because I have installed myself already. I tried to make a difference in my life since 2019, before the COVID-19 started. So what I'm trying to say is we need this very brother, uncle, and father in our midst. Because the things I know, which other people don't know, are the things he's just revealing to us today. So there are a lot of things happening. The globalists, which are the entire world, they know who you are as a Biafran. They know who you are. This is why anywhere you go in the part of the world, every part of the world, your case is always different. If you commit any little thing you do, your case is different. So this is why I always tell people to make a difference. We try to restore ourselves first before restoring Biafra. If we don't do it, it will be a very great problem for us when Biafra comes. So this is the reason why I'm just trying to use this opportunity to give a little bit light to our people for what our brother just said today, because I'm in an organization where I know more of these things he's talking about the globalists. You said something, you played a video for us that we are not a priority to the West. How should you be a priority to the West? How? When you know all the resources they need to live comes from your place. They won't allow you to have your freedom. This is why when people are clamoring, calling United Nations, I was in Amnesty International, registered here in Germany. They threw me out because of the things I do place in their platform because of Biafra. They threw me out of Amnesty International. So these are the things you have to know. One, we have to rise up and make sure these people leave our land first, before anything. If they don't leave, if we don't stop anywhere they used to lick their fingers in our place, they won't allow us to be. They will not allow Biafra to stand. Not even the killing. They can kill as much as they can, but still, they won't allow Biafra to go. So this is just what I want to add, that our brother have to come often to lecture us. And I would like to tell each and every one of our people, the way our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is fighting for restoration of Biafra. This is how a woman, a single woman, is fighting for the restoration of the whole world. And this woman made a comment that I can't forget in my life. She said, if I were to be an Igbo, this is what this woman said. Her name is Kimberly Georgian. She have a network news that is called United Network News. Go listen, go download this network news and listen to this woman. This woman is the person who is holding the Federal Reserve, the Global Depository. She is the person in charge of it. And she locked out everywhere. The system is not getting money anymore. This is why you see this commotion all over the world. This is why you see war. This is why you see flooding everywhere. This flooding you see, they're all artificial. No one is natural. They're all artificial. This is why they're crying, telling you hunger because of Ukraine. Ukraine is not feeding Nigeria. Ukraine is not feeding any part of the world. They can't even feed themselves. Why should you be the problem of hunger in the world today? They are causing this problem. There was a time I said something in a program. There was a time I said something in a program that the Queen died months ago before they review her death. Somebody start arguing with me and tell him, don't argue what you don't know. Because this is being said by this woman. She told us when the Queen died. But they have to review it now because of the problem they're having in Britain. A lot of countries in the world that is under Commonwealth are now clamoring for their freedom. I hope you people are hearing it. The world is in trouble because of me and you, not because of any other person, because of Biafra. They don't want this Biafra to come because they know if it comes, they will all go down.
Thank you so much, Prince. I'm sorry, I'm Ken.
For this very team, I'm grateful for Simon Epa for bringing up this very platform. I'm thanking you people, and I believe we will surely achieve our goals.
Thank you so much, Ken.
I also advise you people one day that I will bring somebody into your program. His name is Professor Abudike.
Okay.
He studied in America, and this man studied in America and he went back to Nigeria. Professor Abudike, he wrote a book they call Insibidi. You will like to hear from this man. He will tell you who you are as a Biafran. Thank you very much.
No problems. Ken, thank you so much for calling in for those submissions. And of course, we're going to allow Prince, please tell, some people are even asking you, they want to know your name and they need you to come. Maybe you're going to tell us how often you're going to be frequent every week so that we can be,
to be quite honest, I'm so busy, but when it comes to the issue of Biafra and Biafra restoration, I advocate for humanity. That is what I do. But when it comes to the issue, when it comes to the issue of Biafra, as far as I'm concerned, because I say it with a lot of emotion, I'm so emotional about it because so much evil has gone on. God forbid. So all I'm saying is, as far I'll create that time, even if it's not there. I'm at your disposal as far as God gives me breath. The work of Biafra is spiritual. The work of Biafra, only if you link to the spiritual realm would you understand it. It's nothing. It's not against anybody. It's not against. In fact, it's for everybody. And from what I think it was Ken that called now. I want Ken to get to know something now. My message to Ken is all we want every Biafran to do right now is to forget this lofty ideology, this lofty hope or trust in any mortal being. All this nonsense. So United Nations, international community. If I analyze international community now, you find that it's an illusion. It doesn't exist. Because nobody can be international community without being local to another international community or other international. So once you go there in terms of critical analysis, you know that that word is just there to deceive you. It means nothing. It has no meaning. So you see, all I'm asking now is for every Biafran to know that when it comes to your freedom, it is your business, just your business, and you have to go for it. And let me also tell you spiritually, the Red Sea has been opened. Do you understand the Red Sea? Do you understand the Red Sea? The Red Sea has been divided for the children of God to cross and march through. And let me tell you how I see it in the spiritual realm. You see what is happening in Ukraine? They are distracted. You see what is happening in that contraption? The Fulani doesn't have the support they used to have during that war. Even the true Hausas will fight against them this time.
Very well.
So don't be afraid of creating the chaos this time to march through the Red Sea. They wouldn't have that support they had before. So you have to go now and reach out for your freedom. Your freedom has been delivered. Don't let Obi distract you. Don't let anything distract you. I've told you, Nigeria is a poisoned chalice. You can't take anything healthy from it. It will never yield anything good. Nigeria is an evil construct of man, the wicked. It is designed to ruin human ingenuity. It is designed to produce malfunction on a regular, on a persistent, on a progressive, and on a regular basis, and on a permanent basis. It will never change. When they tell you Nigeria or one Nigeria, they are asking you to renew your slavery certificate according to Mazin Nandikanu, and you will perpetually be in bondage. Freedom is everything. Freedom is everything. And God has delivered it. You have to march into it now. It is your business. It's not the job of anybody else. Go for it. America went for theirs. You have to go for it and ignore the rest. If others want to march with you into freedom, they will be free. They will cross across that Red Sea as far as it is freedom they are seeking. They will march through with you, and the rest will be consumed by the Red Sea.
All right. Because of your time, and also that we will listen to this caller also, and of course the people are asking for your name, your full name, and your Facebook and your details, Twitter, whatever. We're going to give it to them. But let's pick this call. Daddy Lion, please go on. We can hear you. Okay, I think. Can you hear me? Daddy Lion, the network. I think we have a net problem there. Please, sir, can you tell the people your name, your full name? They're asking. I think I saw Matt Eva asking for your full name, and some other people too, asking for your full name and then your social media handles so that they can reach to you. And of course, you were going to tell us which days you're going to be available for us here, so that we can always have you. At least they will know that day you are coming, and then we can be certain that we can have you on that particular day. Okay, let's speak Daddy Lion first. Let's see whether you go through. Daddy Lion, can you hear me?
Can hear you very clearly.
Okay, please go on. The panel is listening.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, please raise your voice, please.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, Mazi Gadaffi. I've been listening to you. And thank you, Sir Iheanacho. I call you Chief. I've listened to your teaching severally, and
you should know he's a prince in Biafra land, so it's not just a title. It's not, but it's not just one title given, but you know, in what do I call it now? Traditional prince.
Yeah, it's tradition.
Yes.
Yeah, it's traditional prince.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that correction, and I want to thank you all for always putting your efforts on this BNG to send out one of the important and interesting message. It's a message of freedom and a message of life. And this topic is very, very interesting because with what they buried, the information that our people needed the most, they hide it from our people so that they will not know how to figure out the way to better their life. Biafran people, we are working hard to see how we can provide a better life for us. And in providing this better life and freedom, there is a very huge challenge and blockades and barriers. Like the chief said, that we are marching through the Red Sea. And he said that word with a very, very strong voice, that we must march through the Red Sea without fear or without trembling. The Fulanis and the Britain, that I continue to curse them, if I be a human being and a man of God, that it will never be well with them. What is coming for Britain, Britain is going to fall apart. God will tear them apart because they have destroyed the life of children of God and turned them to beggars of what belonged to them. They have made our people to be guiding an empty pipeline, that they have been dragged through the underground. While they were killing us, they were laying pipes to drag our oil through the land and through the sea to Europe. But today we are asking for our freedom. They have killed us for it, without any kind of remorse and without any kind of humanity in them. And the teaching you gave today, Chief, about the animals and the human being and the living organisms, despite the fact that Mazi Nnamdi Kano's wife came out in public to call people who are fighting very strongly to attain their freedom, they called them ecto and endoparasite. Anyway, may God forgive her because she acted very ignorantly. I must tell you that we are ready to fight these people. I am referring to you, fellow Biafrans, especially those of you who are receiving the worst bullet ever. I want to tell you that these people you are fighting today, they know you more than yourself. They have studied you. They know your tribe. They know your lineage, even up to the level of the Israel and the Gad. They know where you came from. I want to tell you that Osman Danfodio had been dealing with the Arabs and the Saudi Arabians and the Britain, even before Iheanacho came into our land. And they first called us the Royal Niger Company Protectorate. These people did not stop there, as they were selling Hausa people and killing them. They advanced their course. They even changed it to Northern Protectorate and Southern Protectorate. From there, they merged it together. They keep on advancing up to the level that our ancestors could not take it anymore, and they had to defend their people. In defense of these people, they connive with Britain and they put to kill us. And after they destroyed our land, they saw that they were losing the war. Britain told Gowon that Biafran people cannot last for more than 24 hours, that they should kill them. Even when they never wanted, they aided them with more than 900 million hardwares, tools, tank repairing materials, weapons, hand grenades, and launching materials from the air, including the Navy Spitfire that the Queen gave them from UK. When they came to our land, they came to Asaba. The Asaba massacre you talked about is not the first Asaba massacre. The first Asaba massacre is the one.
That rely on just some round of place because of the time of our guests. You know, they have to also do some other things.
Let me just say this one.
Okay, 30 seconds, please.
Told us about how the British people brought in aircraft in Asaba, where there is a refugee hospital, and he was there because he was doing business, iron business in Onitsha. He was coming back when his friend got stopped up. They tear people, even women, pregnant women, they tear their stomach, bring out their babies, smash them on the wall, and they kill both the sick, the old, and the young that were in that hospital. And today we are remembering the Asaba massacre. I want you people to know that for this very reason, some of us who are from Delta State and everywhere in the South, we never ever give up. No matter how the wrong teaching and the deceit that these people, the seed of discord that these people have sowed in the coastal region, we work very hard to make sure that we elevate our life, we separate ourselves from this poison, the evil that is in Nigeria. By 2023, there is going to be a chaos. And the U.S. Secretary of State have made clear that Nigeria must have a fair and a fair election. but not in Biafra land.
Yes,
People who are hearing my voice,
Daddy Lion.
this message to him. I'd like to stop here.
Okay, please. Thank you so much for calling in. Let's just hear from. Okay.
Mr. Ambrose.
Yes.
I want to say something with a low voice. Our leader promised Zoo that he will open gate of hell. And we have come to open that gate of hell, 2023. We will definitely open the gate of hell.
Okay.
David Igila said there is a puppy that was behind our leader, and those puppy has start growing the claws of a lion.
Yes.
We have come.
We have a lot of, you know, because of Prince.
I've only 2 minutes.
Yes, he has them. So please, let's listen to Jobless just for 1 minute. Jobless, please just speak for 1 minute to the panel. Just 1 minute.
I will be very, very before that I wanted to just kick in.
Okay.
I'm just trying to beg you people because in the autopilot, I'm not so active for some reason, but I think I will be back very soon with you people.
Okay.
So what I just want to say is that for this restoration we are pursuing, for it to be easy for us, as our brother is here, we have a great prince that is with us, and we have great people that are with us. Please, we should just start this thing. I want to say now, if we have any problem or we have anything that is a challenges in Biafra land, we will take it up to our shoulder. If our roads are broken, let's find a way to fix it. If our hospitals are not working, let's find a way to fix it. If our people are hungry, let's find a way to farm and make sure they get food. Because this famine that is coming, they are preparing it for the next war that is coming in Biafra land. So these are things I learned from the organization where I am, that we are fighting for restoration.
All right.
We have to make a plan on how to survive.
All right.
Build our roads, hospitals, prepare our food. Make sure
all right.
We don't depend on anybody.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ken. Thank you so much. Please, sir, go on. Just so you can quickly. Please, it seems it's breaking. It's not. Please, can you go out and come in again so that they can hear you clearly? Can go ahead and call. No, we can't hear you. It's actually breaking. Master Gadaffi, can you hear him clearly from there?
Breaking. It's breaking.
It's breaking. So you can go off and go out and come in again. Let's see. So they will hear you very well. Mazi Oganiru. 30 seconds so that the people can hear you. 30 seconds so that when he comes in, he can round off. I think the network is your network is bad, or whether it's my network or your network. Anyways, Mazi Gadaffi.
Yeah.
Let's just have him to finish up so that he can.
Do you know?
Please.
Oh, we talk about massacre. Okay.
Yeah, please. I'm leaving now.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, please.
Now,
please
Ambrose, can I ask you to type my name? You got the full name.
Okay,
people can reach me on Facebook from there. Next time I come on live, I'll give you details of every other thing, and then let us discuss after this. Let us discuss after that. We are going to choose coming on regularly, but we must put into consideration the days that Simon Eba is our spokesperson is on, so we avoid not clashing with them, because it's important that people continue to listen to him. He's our spokesperson.
Okay.
So
this time,
he's already taken care of in the media.
Oh, good.
Yes, it's taken care of. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm happy to give an hour in the morning, like it's 1 a.m. you said, which will be at 8 o'clock where I am. So I'm happy to give an hour any day of your choice, okay, before I leave for other things, okay?
Okay. Now, can we have it today, every Thursday and every Monday? Is it possible for you?
Okay, let's work with that. Mondays and Thursdays.
Yes. Mondays
and Thursdays. Okay, let's try. Let's try that and see how it goes. Yes, why not? Okay, thank you very much. I've got to go, and thank you all very much. Gadaffi, it's nice to have met you. Thank you so much, Ambrose, for creating this opportunity, and to Biafrans and the rest of humanity. I wish you all God's blessing upon this transient life we all here to cohabit. I thank you. And good.
We look forward. Please, next Monday, we're going to be having him. So please prepare yourself. 1 p.m. Biafra time on Monday. He's going to be here to talk with us and then, reorientate us, because this orientation is very, very important and key. Thank you so much, sir. So, Mazi Gadaffi, take it up from there so that we can round off then. Maybe if there's any other call.
When we talk about this massacre we are remembering today.
Yes.
We don't forget to remember the massacre that took place in Ozuabam market. I am from Old Bend, so I will never forget the day that British threw bomb in our market, in Ozu market. It was a blow on our face, and we have come to revenge. We will revenge for their death. It's a promise. This was a genocide. Throwing bomb in the marketplace is unheard of. It's against the rule of engagement. But Nigerian state did that, and nobody's held responsible. Our brothers in Odi were killed, massacred. Nobody was held responsible. Our people in Iguacha were killed. Nobody was held responsible. Like Prince said, that the death of a Biafran is a trophy. It's a trophy to British. We can't keep dying like this. We can't keep on dying. We can't keep on dying like this.
Yes.
We have been pushed to wall, and we have to react. You understand? Today we are remembering Asaba massacre. Not just in Asaba. Mkpo sector. Things happen. Things happen in Ozuabam market. That was a market day. As I heard, the bomber came very low and threw bomb inside the market. That was the day was dark. But look at what Trade Center that Osama bin Laden hit. America find Osama bin Laden to Pakistan to make sure they killed him. Because what? He just hit World Trade Center.
And they even dismissed the Taliban.
Yeah. You understand? But Fulanis are killing us. What about that our sister that were killed in Oba? Her body was butchered like an animal. In fact, nobody will butcher an animal and throw the parts different location in the bush.
Oh
After raping her, she was killed. How many will I count? How long will this continue? How long? How can somebody see this impunity and still go out there to shout obedience? Are you obedient to what? Obedient unto death? Because it is obedient unto death. And we are telling you, not in our land. You see, all this useless political solution does not exist in Biafra land, and it can never exist.
Yes. Thank you so much.
There is nothing like political solution. Nnamdi Kanu did nothing. He commits no crime. Release him, and let him go. How many Boko Haram commanders that are in detention? How many Fulani herdsmen are in detention? All the evil they are perpetrating, they will arrest them, flash them on the television, and they still free them. Just to complete, to Major Hero Kundia, if he's our leader, our spokesperson. What is this guy? The kidnapper is still in serving in jail time. They even want to execute him because he's an Igbo man. I don't support his attitude. But what they did to Igbo man, the same thing should be done to a Hausa man or to a Yoruba man. And I want to use this opportunity to tell our people in Lagos to start reasoning. because what is before them, they will not cry enough. Tear, they will look for tears, tears will not come. The plans that the enemy have against the Igbos in Lagos. I beg, begin to think about how to relocate your investment. Biafra or no Biafra, they will suffer you and suffer you. Remember the call between Kunle and Shetima. They will put it, they will implement it because that's what Tinubu promised them. Let me tell you, Nigeria is not for a Biafran. A Biafran man doesn't have a nation of his. That's why you see us all over the world, scattered all over the world, because we don't have a country of ours. We don't have a country of our own. Just imagine the day Biafra will be restored, how homecoming will look like. I don't care the ups and downs that are on the road, but what gives me joy is what I see. Today, we all gathered in a very big stadium, singing national anthem, Biafran national anthem, celebrating our freedom. That is where I look onto, and that's what I see.
Yes. Yes. The most important day for us.
Death is not even a threat to us because we all are already dead.
Yeah.
So that is why you see these people playing politics in the life of our people. It gets me mad. Somebody we said he is working for Biafra. Like we already analyzed it. You just only select the one that's against your master, file it. Then what happens to Hopu Zodema? What happens to Soludo? Okay, what happens to this P2B that killed the Biafran, threw them in the Zoo River? Who has called him to answer for that? You're singular because Mwike is quarreling with your master. Then you want to deceive us. You want us to celebrate. You are working. No, you tell that to Aboki, not us.
That's it.
Yeah, you should say that to Aboki,
of
not
course.
the Biafran. We are smart and wise people.
Who think they are smart.
You understand? So that is how it is, my brother.
Thank you so
much. I don't
much.
know, whoever want to call on, to call in.
Maybe we just maybe we're going to get
remember, there's something we have forgotten.
Yeah, the issue
was
of
a write-up by TVC News.
TVC,
I don't know
the TVC stuff that you know. Let me see if I can. I think I copied it from their website because their website had them just a brief news of it, and then they had so many adverts, so I had to copy the information. Let me see. Dear friends, please be patient. We have gone 2 hours, almost 2 hours 27 minutes, but we just have to touch this so that we can debunk this kind of things they bring up, you know, against us. If you look here, you're going to see. Okay, I don't know how I'm going to read it so that our people can see it. I don't know if I can. Let me see if it can come alone so that we can read it out. Then after reading, then we can. Well, it's so tiny. Suspected IPOB members attack soldiers in Abia State. Suspected IPOB members allegedly attacked soldiers in Aba, Nigeria. I'm not seeing it very clear from here. I don't know how I'll be able to make it bold. Let me see if I'll be able to get bold. Okay, I've been able to do that. Gunmen suspected to be members of the indigenous people of IPOB have reportedly attacked an army patrol van in Aba, a commercial nerve center of Biafra. Of Abia State. The event happened in the early hours of Friday when the soldiers were on patrol. The attackers reportedly laid ambush for the soldiers and opened fire on them. The incident occurred at the popular Tonimas Junction, Osisioma local government on Enugu-Aba Port Harcourt Expressway. That's how brief the report is. So, Mas Gadaffi, please, maybe you're going to take us on that matter. Let's. you know, take us.
You know, you can remove it because it's a
Yes.
very, very tiny. You
Yes,
can
it's very
still
tiny.
leave it in whichever.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, these are something that we have already given you people the intelligent report on it.
You actually said it yesterday.
If you can remember.
You know? Yes, yesterday.
Is it not yesterday?
Yes, yesterday.
It was yesterday. We make mention of their plans, and this is a confirmation of what we are saying, that we know their plans, and we are not joking. You understand? Like we rightly said, we are everywhere. We are everywhere. Even inside our sorrow.
Before you go on, let's see whether Oganiru Biafra. Can you hear me? His network seemed to be very, very okay. Please, go on, Gadaffi.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
So
we can hear you now.
Okay, this is Gadaffi of Biafra.
Okay. Yes, you're welcome.
I have been listening quite a long time on the whole conversation. Actually, what the panel, I greet Gadaffi and the rest of you. I don't actually know the name of our great man that is there.
His name is Prince. He's a prince. Prince Ezem.
Okay, Prince,
Iheanacho.
I greet you. It's a very big honor to have you in this platform. And we wish that you can also come often, just like Gadaffi also.
Yes, we're going to have this panel every Monday and Thursdays, 1 p.m. Biafra time.
Okay, every Monday.
Yes, 1 p.m. Biafra time, every Monday and Thursdays.
You know, actually, in every society where there is problem, God always give them solution. The only thing that does not have solution in this life is a problem that has no name. But any problem that has a name on it has a solution. And I have tried to reach out to so many, platform to provide solution to end of all these evil against our people. In fact, it's unfortunate that the people, so many of the people that are at the helmet of affair could not understand when genuine people are approaching them. Some of them, take it as a propaganda, or some of them take it that you want to stain somebody's name. But that is how I see it. But I thank God there is one of the broadcast man Simon Iba made. He said, because of the people that are born to restore Biafra, he make a spiritual declaration there. I don't know if he might, if he know when he said that. There are many people who are born to restore Biafra, but many people, on the door of faith not allow them to come in. And I believe there is still time to allow people with integrity, people with understanding of reasoning mind to bring a new dimension, just like Simon Iba is also bringing. There are many methods and many ways to bring Biafra, even without shooting one bullet. And that is the secret behind a lot of things many people didn't know. It is not all about the groundwork that is there. There are many ways to crash down the system. And we should also bear in mind that we are not fighting Nigeria. During Nigerian Biafran War, it wasn't Nigeria that we fought. We fought America, Britain, France, and so many other countries.
Yeah.
That today, Nigeria are taking the glory that they are the one fighting. But that is a very capital lie. If other part of the world leave us and Nigeria alone, Nigeria would not breathe within the next 24 hours.
Yeah. So please try to round off in 30 minutes, in 30 seconds, so that we can, because we need to close this program.
That we should allow people who have great mindset to come in to provide solution.
Very well.
To the Biafran problem. Thank you very much.
Very, very well. Thank you so much, Oganiru. You made a vital, because we can't do it. We need technical people with technical know-how to actually do it. Please, Gadaffi, what do you think about what he said?
Because we
Take it up.
we need technical people.
Hello?
Yeah, Mazi Gadaffi, take it up from there based on what he has said and what you were saying also. So
Yeah, what he said is important, and we have already started looking into it, extending invitations to the true sons of Biafra. Consultation is ongoing. You know, we can do it alone. I rightly said, yeah, we can do it alone. Even when God himself, the Almighty, wanted to create the earth or human being, he said, let us make man in our own image and in our own likeness. Yeah. So if Almighty himself can call his angels, call the host of heaven and said, let us, we also beckoning to people to volunteer themselves, those ones that are born to restore Biafra. But one thing is certain, Jesus said, if I be lifted up, I will draw all men. Biafra has been lifted up. Biafra will draw all men.
That brings us to this propaganda that you want to use to destroy, TVC and propagating.
And also the Bible says, for this purpose, Son of God was made manifest to destroy the work of Zu and Fulani Caliphate. For this purpose, and this is the time. The prophecy is for appointed time. It says slowly and steadily. Still, it's not going to overdo even in a single day. That is the case of Biafra. Biafra is a child of... Sorry. Biafra is a child of necessity. Biafra is a child of necessity. That the people is fighting for survival. To live as a people. When they say they want to exterminate the race, we say no, because that is not the plan of God for us. So for this purpose, we have thrown it open. Volunteer yourself. Nobody can come. Let's do that. We're called. There's only one, in my life, I've seen only one man of God that said God did not call him. He decided to call himself. Yeah, the man said the truth. He said, God no call me, but I call myself to work for him. His name is Bishop Danre Oloruntoba. That is his name. Bishop Danre Oloruntoba.
So he gave himself over to the work to actually...
He said God did not call him. He called himself to work for God. So if Simon Ekpa did not call you, call yourself. In truth and in honesty.
Because in the midst of calling yourself, you're actually responding to the call of God.
Yeah. So if you want God to call you first and you waited, God hasn't called you. Maybe he called you, you did not hear when he called you. So you have to call yourself. Maybe you'll be fit into the calling that they call you that you did not hear. And some people, when you are coming, when you volunteer yourself, you ask yourself, what is my purpose? Because when you define the purpose of your living, life itself makes more meaning. So when you define the purpose of coming, that is why some people that came, because others were coming. Today, they are the ones say that military were innocent.
Yes.
They are the one that says they paid us 40 million to cancel sit at home. They are the one that said this one did not take oath, this one took oath. Gadaffi did not take any oath. Can't carry me. The oath I took is oath of my conscience.
That is it.
And what God has used me to do, most of you that went and swear that useless thing that was written in the paper, you call yourself, you took oath. I don't believe in it. The best oath I believe in is oath of my conscience. Put me in public, put me anywhere. You see that your oath is useless. to me as a person. Because the oath I took is the oath of my conscience. I have come to do the needful, to make sure I contribute my quota, to make my generation proud. That when the history of Biafra will be, when the people begin to read or study about the history of Biafra, this name Gadaffi will be mentioned. That's my joy. I am not the people that started it, though it is not my fault, because Bible said the first shall be the last. And instead of they should go and rest, they are fighting, killing their brothers. You understand? It is not my, it's not my fault that God chose us to keep this dream alive. Because if we were like them, there will be nothing like Biafra today.
Yes. Mazi Gadaffi,
at the forefront, decided to back up.
Coastal Region Liberation Television. You are permitted to stream it because we want to pass the information to people. You are permitted to stream the program live, to restream. Yes, you are permitted to restream this program live on your platform. We give you that permission. We're not here for selfish. We're here to propagate information, to give information, and to make sure that our people hear. So we're not here to say, it's my right, it's my right, it's my own. No, we're not for that. We're here to send the information around. Yes, please.
My brother Ambrose.
Yes, sir.
Tell him that we are not, maybe he's hearing me, we are not merchant agitators.
Yeah, because he actually posted it on the screen. So on this stuff. So I'm putting it on the screen so he can hear. He's hearing you.
We are not merchant agitators. We are not YouTube monetizer. We are doing our job to spread the news for you to hear. So join us to spread the news. Please let everybody click your share button and begin to distribute this program because it is something that you must learn, you must hear. And as you've heard, let your brothers and sisters also hear with you.
Yeah, that's it. That's how freedom comes.
Yes, we are not merchant agitators. Neither man must work agitators. We are not stomach agitators. We are not even in Zama people.
Yes.
That's why we bring people to our platform to give the wisdom that God put in them. So please share, stream, anytime you see us online. Even my own personal channel, Biafra Freedom Voice TV. Anytime you see me online, stream.
Stream and share. Just send the information. Share. We need all Biafrans to know, all over the nations of the world to know what we're doing. That's the essence of this.
And remember, the spokesperson of Biafra, in the person of Mazi Simon Ekpa, asked every lovers of freedom, every Biafran, to go to tweets and respond to blinking. Blinking only blink the eyes when they are killing Biafra. He will blink his eyes.
Don't mind those people. The guy is only when it has to do with Biafra.
When he has to do something against Biafra, they will blink. But when it is for other people out there, they will open their eyes steady. So, my brother.
Thank you so much, Mazi Gadaffi. You have done so marvelously well today, giving your time and everything in spite of your schedule. And we thank Prince Ezem Iheanacho for joining us. He was wonderful. He's been a blessing here, and he's going to continue to be a blessing. Dear friends, make it a date with us here every Monday and Thursday, 1 p.m. You're going to hear this undiluted wisdom. You know, this undiluted wisdom. You're going to get it every Monday, 1 p.m. Thursday, 1 p.m. Just make it on your schedule. Put it as a schedule, you know, to remind yourself every Monday. And then if you have it, of course, we're going to entertain calls. So we'll make sure that it doesn't exceed at least we have 2 hours of constructive. It's just that the things they were saying, I couldn't stop them from just talking. You know, when Gadaffi talks, the thing is like, wow, you know, and then Mr. Iheanacho and Prince comes again. The thing is like, wow, you know, we can't just stop. We can't just time anybody on this. Because I think we're not just going to restrict ourselves with time. Because when you allow somebody to, you know, they flow with that information based on this every Monday, especially Mondays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. Biafra time, we're going to allow them flow and give us information and teach us some things, you know, basic information. And you can see the synergy when, when Gadaffi releases some information that are very basic, very analytical, Prince takes it from there, and you see the information and all of that, and it goes very smoothly. So you are going to hear more on Monday. We're going to be having this panel 1 p.m. Biafra time. We're going to be talking on more deep things that you need to know, very deep things that you already know, you see, or as headlines and all of that. But when we take it to another level, you begin to understand deeper things you need to understand, and you begin to get knowledge, wisdom, and together you push it to other people to hear, and together we are freeing ourselves. So that by the time people begin to know these things, they know that OB is a distraction. Every other of these things are distractions. So tomorrow is our lockdown 7th. We're remembering using Asaba massacre as a means of remembering all the people that have been massacred and killed and martyred. So please prepare yourself. Make sure you don't go out so that nothing happens to you, because this must be enforced to later. Remember, instructions are very important. You listen to all our social media platforms. You go to Biafra Voice, Biafra Freedom Voice. You will get information that station belongs to Mazi Gadaffi. You're going to get information. He's always having information. And definitely he's always pouring them out to us to always have. So, so you can always get information whenever you see him online. You come up and you just and also subscribe to that channel so that you can spread the gospel, share it on all your social media platforms so that you can get information at all times that you need to, so that you can be part of this and part of those who are creating and bringing this liberation by your own input. Your job is just to circulate it and, of course, support ESN and do other things that you need to do. Thank you so much for joining. We've taken so much time. This is 2 hours, 45 minutes, but we know you enjoyed every moment in this program. We know you enjoyed every moment of it, and we want to appreciate you, and we appreciate you so much. Please, Mazi Gadaffi, for 1 minute, just tell Biafrans and bye-bye. Yes.
Like you always tell them, the Biafran people, that in this channel, we always bring you information, intelligent reports, because we are in the military WhatsApp group from force headquarters down to Biafra land, or the military barrack. We succeeded entering into their WhatsApp group. So we dig out all the information ahead of time. We know their plan. Like as we told the people what they're about to do, and you see them doing it through TVC television, that IPOB.
Yes.
Gunmen. You yourself, you know that you don't have a gunman. Rather, people that defend our place. Rather, I need to thank Ifeanyi David. I need to thank Ifeanyi David and Ebere Emebo, Ganiru Biafra, and Oba Njenje. Many of you that may not be able to call or your name, Imo Biafra, and many of you, Ganiru Biafra, Neka Okafo, all of you. I just want to say thank you for being here with us. Please share this message and click the button to subscribe on our channels. This is a Biafra Global Network. Please always hook to this place. This is where you will hear the truth undiluted. Anytime I come on live, my platform Biafra Freedom Voice TV, you can also get their notification. Thank you, my brother Ambrose.
Thank you so much. Grateful.
I can't thank you enough for offering this your time, your data, everything. We do it to the glory of our Biafra. Biafra, we salute you. Above all, we salute our foot soldiers who are in the Facebook doing the needful.
Yes.
We can't do it without you people. We stand shoulder to shoulder with you. We also sympathize with our brothers and sisters that have lost their loved ones, that have lost their properties, that have lost their lives. Please, we will not disappoint you. The end to everything we do is Biafra. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mazi. Thank you so much. We meet you again, Biafrans, on Monday. Of course, our programs still go on in our channels. For this particular, Think Tank broadcast series, Think Tank series, here on Monday, 1 p.m. Just join us. Call other people to come in. I'm going to play another version of our anthem, the other one we know, to end this broadcast. And then please prepare for tomorrow. Sit at home. Total lockdown. That is the signature of Biafra freedom. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mazi. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you everyone who has called in. Thank you everyone who has sent their messages. We've been reading them and all of that. Thank you all. God bless you all. Listen to this other version of our anthem so that you stay blessed. Remember the heroes that has gone, you know.
All hail Biafra, land of the rising sun. We love and cherish. We have vanquished our enemies. All hail Biafra. God bless Biafra. In him we trust. Shout it, sing it. All hail Biafra. God bless Biafra. We have emerged triumphant from all our foes. Through the crucible unscathed, we passed victorious. Our trumpets pealing, the glorious song. Play it, sing it, all hail Biafra. Oh, hail Biafra.